Hello everyone. Once again, welcome in our lecture about discipleship. So now, actually, we finished the first part, which is the essential part about discipleship. And now we are in the second part, which is the practical part of discipleship. So here we are studying how to do it. And we also finish in this part the responsibility responsibility of the disciple and the responsibility of the disciplers. So now in this lecture, I will talk about who should do it. Who should do it? Many people wants to do discipleship, and we know that every Christian, as we studied before, should do discipleship. But the question is that, is it possible that all can do it? Every Christian should do it, but not all can do, because there are some consideration in the maturity and ability of who will do it. So every Christian should do it, but it depends to the people if they can do it according to their ability. So we need to check whether this person can do discipleship or not. So we have to do it. So now there are some four things that we need to consider for those people who will do discipleship. First, who can do it or who should do it? First, those who are matured in faith. If they are matured in faith, then there is, possibility that they can do because of their faith. So maturity of faith is very important in doing discipleship, because handling the souls need the maturity in faith, because we need to lead them to the truth. So when we talk about maturity, it is not only about how long they became Christian or how long they go to church, but how much they know the Bible. Because discipleship is that we teach people about God and how to live for the kingdom of God and how to work for God. So if someone is not yet matured in faith, they don't know the Bible yet, then I think they cannot handle the soul, because they need to teach the Word of God. And without maturity in faith, we cannot influence them spiritually. No, discipleship is not only teaching them what to do, but also we need to give them, we need to influence them spiritually. And then we need to be sure that those who will do it has understanding about God and His Word. So maturity is very important. That is the first point. If you want to distinguish in your church who can do, is it possible that this person can do? So check their maturity. Do not just tell them, oh, do discipleship, you can do it. Because you are good in speaking, you know how to lead people, you know how to speak, you have ability to do this, so you can do it. It's not about ability, but also it's all about their maturity. So check their maturity if they are spiritually matured. And then second, of course, even though they are matured, but if they are not willing, so we need those who are willing to do discipleship. We cannot let the people handle the souls with unwilling heart. Because this ministry needs a special care for the soul. This ministry needs the special care for the soul. And they need to use their time, their effort, their strength, and even their money. So without the willing heart, how can these people handle their disciple? So when they do discipleship, they need to be willing. It's very hard if you force, I experience in our church, some of my disciples, I force them to do it just because I want them to do it. But in the middle, I realize because they are not willing yet to do it. So in the middle, you know what? They made some excuses like they are sick, they are busy, and they cannot do it. So in these kind of things, they will just make excuse. And the soul, taking of the soul is very important. So if you just let the people handle the soul with unwilling heart, then the people whom they are handling will be, in danger because they cannot care. It is soul, and we love the soul. So we check this part also. Okay, so the first, if they are matured, but check if they are willing, because even some people who are matured in faith, sometimes they are not yet willing to do it. Maybe there are some timing when they will do it, or we have to pray that God will give them the willing heart to do discipleship. Okay, so now we go to the third point of this lecture. Who can do it? The third one, those who are available. So yes, they are willing and they are matured. But if they are not available, also, how can they do? Discipleship needs time. Oh, we cannot do discipleship with our excess time. Like, oh, if I have time, Pastor, I will do. If I have time, I will meet you. We cannot do like this. We need to set the time to meet them, to take care of them, to build them, and to teach them. So, discipleship needs availability. So, we need to check if this person, if you give them the soul, if they will do discipleship, or you, if you want to do discipleship, you need to check, am I available to do this or not? Because if you are not available, even though you pray, but you need to make yourself available. You need to set the time to meet them. You cannot, as we already talked last time, we are the spiritual parents, discipler. So like parents, the real parents, right? We should make time to take care of our children. We cannot make excuse to take care of them. We cannot say, "Oh, my son, I'm tired. I cannot cook for you." It's our responsibility. So it is the same thing with if you become the disciplers, you have this responsibility like parents. So you are the spiritual parents. You must be available. Okay. And of course, here we have to set the time, and we need to give them the regular time, not just you whenever you want. So set the time and regular time. So we must be available. So I do not misunderstand, brothers and sisters. I'm not talking that if you want to do discipleship, you need to stop your studying or you need to stop work. I'm not talking like this, but availability meaning you make the time. You make yourself available. But I'm not telling that you stop or you quit your job so that you can do discipleship. There are many ways. I will give you one of the example. Actually, me too, I'm really busy, and my disciples were really busy. Some of them working in the mall, and they finish 10 p.m. night time. So they told me, Pastor, my only available time is early morning or late night. So if I really want to do discipleship, if I'm really willing, then I need to make availability. I need to be available to meet them. So for me, I meet them 10 p.m. to 12 midnight once a week because it is only once a week, not every day. So I showed to my disciples that, okay, if that is your available time, then I will meet you in your available time because they are working. And I experienced discipleship 4 a.m. Maybe you think I'm over, but this is the only time they can do. They need to work at 6 a.m. So I meet them 4 a.m. So in this way, I made myself available to do discipleship. Because if we want, then we will make the way to do it, to win the soul and to raise up the leaders. And the fourth one, the last part in this lecture, who should do it and who can do it? Of course, those who are faithful. Now, even though you are available, but we must be faithful doing discipleship. Faithfulness in the ministry is very important. We cannot expect our disciples that they will be faithful all the time, But disciplers, we should be faithful so that we can influence our disciples to be faithful. Of course, sometimes we fail, but when we say faithful, it means we consider this ministry is really precious. So how? For example, we are persistent. We do not skip if possible. If, we are not really, if we are sick and not really serious, if we can endure, then we can just continue. Persistently, do not skip your discipleship because in this way, your disciples will learn from you. My disciplers, even though she or he, even though they are so tired, even though they are weak, they sacrifice. So faithfulness with sacrifice. So you should not skip. This is very important. And in the faithfulness, you need to prepare. If you are faithful in the ministry, in the discipleship, then you need to prepare. We need to prepare meeting our disciples. We should not meet them without any preparation. But how can we prepare? So first, we need to pray for them. We need to prepare what to talk with them. So in this way, we also prepare what to teach. So we prepare how can we guide them. In this way, you prepare prayer and teaching and what kind of guidance, advice you can give them. So in this way, you can prepare. So if you are preparing, it means you are faithful in the ministry. So unfaithful disciplers, they never prepare. They never prepare. So the third is that we need to keep even the time to meet them. When we say 10 p.m., 10 p.m., 4 p.m., 4 p.m., it should be always the same. Again, faithfulness is not only, we can see in the way we sacrifice, but also preparation and keeping the time, persistently doing discipleship is very important. So these are the 4 things that we need to consider if we want to appoint someone to do discipleship. So in your church, if you want to choose someone, like, maybe we need to do discipleship, and who can do it? Okay, so we have the 4 standard. Okay, what is the first? Those who are matured in faith, they know the Bible, they know God, they are deep in the understanding about God. And then second, those who are willing to do, not forced to do, but willing. Because those who are willing, they will sacrifice and they will continue again and again. And then the third, those who are available. If they are willing, they will make themselves available. And also, we need to choose whether it is really possible for them. So, I'm not saying that all of us should quit the job again or stop what we are doing, but we need to check if possible for this person to do discipleship. Because, like for example, soldiers, they are working in the base and sometimes they don't have day off. So that's why I think we need to consider if these people can do the discipleship. Like that kind of things. Okay, and then fourth is their faithfulness. We need to check whether this person or this woman are faithful in the ministry. So yes, all Christians should do discipleship and make disciples, but in our church or community, we have to distinguish. Soul is very important. We cannot just give them to someone who are not prepared, who are not available, who are not matured. Because, even in the Old Testament, the leaders, they led their people. The priests led their people in the wrong way. That's why they were lost. And God was angry to them because of that. God punished them. And the same thing now, disciples' job is really important. in the church because they will handle the soul. So we need to be careful who will handle the soul. So the one who should do this is the Christian who are matured in faith, they have willing heart, available, and especially faithful in the ministry. So these four things, brothers and sisters, you can consider in your church, or you can consider yourself as well, whether you have these categories to do discipleship. And if not, you pray to God that God will help you. Thank you so much for this lecture. See you again next lecture, because I think we remain only 3 lectures. So I hope that you continue to watch and learn about discipleship. Thank you so much. Let's go and make disciples.